Yes, things are wild after the Brexit vote, but you know what? We're all living in history. This is the kind of stuff that we're going to look back on, or my grandchildren are, and look at and see this is a textbook change that's going on. But Brexit wasn't the story, just like Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders aren't the story. The five-star movement in Italy isn't the story. Podemos in Spain. This is a monster trend against the establishment. But the key is to understand why. Well, it's economic based, not politically based. I mean, think about this. If everybody in Europe had a great job, we'd had huge job creation, wage growth, nobody can get up the passion to say, I want out of the EU. And it's not just Britain that's saying that. They've got 8 other countries right now who are demanding their own vote. No, this is a monster change. And I'll just tell you this. If you think it's been fun so far, you got 4 more years of extreme volatility, whether you measure it in the currency markets, the stock markets, assets, or politically. That's the environment we're in as we sort of unravel the European mess. And again, back to their economy. Think about this. They got 170,000 bureaucrats, on top of how many bureaucrats there are in Germany, how many in France, how many in Spain, how many in Italy. Well, that's not a recipe for economic growth. That's a failed economic growth model. That's why I know that there's more change to come. That's why I know that they can't reverse this trend, because too many people are getting left out. In the US, 95 million people permanently unemployed. No, that's not a recipe for happiness within the country. So that's what we're going to be seeing. Then you see the implication throughout the world. I mean, keep in mind that money moves when it gets uncertain. That's what we've witnessed in the Toronto, or certain areas of Toronto, and the Vancouver real estate market. We've seen at the upper end, we've seen money coming out of Asia, especially China. Why? Because they have uncertainty about what's going on in their home country. That's the trend to keep an eye on. When you ask me about the upper end, I just want to keep an eye on what's going on in China. Are they going to be successful in keeping money within the country? I mean, come on, you look at the numbers, they're in the trillions now of money that's left. We have a tendency in Canada to think it's about us. Well, it certainly hasn't been that way in real estate. It's first been about London, it's been about New York, then about Toronto, Vancouver, Melbourne, Sydney, Singapore. The list is a long one, but the key component there, the commonality, is that money has moved in search of safety. That's going to continue at the upper end in this really volatile time. And at the lower end of the market, I think it's getting pretty clear that you're looking at population increase, including record low interest rates. So those are the dynamics that you're looking at. But the key to remember is, you think we've had fun so far? Nothing like the next 3 to 4 years when it comes to volatility.